Hello, Texas. How's everybody doing? This is Tanya with ALS Texas, and we are just jumping on a live feed today to talk to you about something that we have coming up tomorrow that we really want to make sure you all know about. We have a phenomenal young adult leadership council or team that has formed in the last, year or so. Gabriel Poveda is actually on that council. He is just remarkable in so many ways, and I could actually spend this live feed telling you about him, but it's even better if he shares kind of his vision and what he's got coming up for our ALS Texas community. For those of you that have joined any events with me, workshops or groups, you know that I'm passionate about purpose. Our team works every day on purpose. And one of the mentors and inspirational leaders that I have learned from is Dr. Viktor Frankl. He was a World War II Holocaust survivor, researcher, and psychiatrist, and has many different quotes and perspectives. But one that stays with me is, we have the power to choose how we handle what life throws at us. It's changing our perspective on why is this happening for me and not why is it happening to me. Gabriel embodies that to a T. And I'm going to turn over to him to share how he is sharing his ALS experience and why ALS happened for him. Gabriel?
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you for your kind words. This speech is coming up on the second anniversary of Father's Day since I lost my dad. And especially around Father's Day, you have to, remember who your dad was and what they meant to you. And there's nothing good about ALS, nothing that makes it worthwhile. But like you said, you can shift your perspective and you could find golden nuggets of truth, for love, for how we conduct ourselves in our everyday life, that are lessons that you can pull out of the ALS experience and make you a little bit stronger. So that's what my presentation is about. It's about remembering my dad and remembering the lessons that his life taught me, what him going through ALS made me value, what it taught me to believe in, how it taught me to be. And it's difficult to talk about these things, but I think it's helpful to young caregivers who currently have parents who have ALS, to people who have ALS themselves, because they get to see that despite this horrible, horrible, horrible thing that's going on, something is going to come from it, and it doesn't all have to be bad. And that's the crux of it.
Yeah, and we have y'all, for those that are watching, and feel free to comment, send a shout out to Gabriel, comment on your experience and journey with ALS. Our ALS Texas community is one that I just think is like no other as far as locking arms and supporting each other. And that includes the young caregivers. So in Texas, we know that we have close to 3,000 young adult, youth, and children who are helping to provide care for a loved one. That's a lot. And so for Gabriel to be able to share what you're going through is something that nobody should ever have to experience, but what are you going to pull from that? How is it going to shape you as an adult, and how is it going to shape everything that you do in your life moving forward? Would you say that's fair, Gabriel?
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot leading up to Father's Day is that I think I got to know my dad more than most people because of the bond of having him go through such a terrible experience, I got to see him more completely than I think any of us get to know our parents. So I saw him at his lows, but I saw him at some of his most remarkable highs, and I'm I miss him terribly, but I am blessed in the opportunity I had to really get to know him as a complete human being and value him as a dad.
I love that. I love that. Well, tomorrow will actually be your presentation. So tomorrow is ALS and Legacy in honor of Father's Day, in honor of everyone who's living with ALS and those that we've lost to ALS. We're going to talk about legacy. This is one of a series that Gabriel has shared that he wants to do for our community. So join us tomorrow at noon. It'll be just about 30 minutes, so on your lunch hour. And Gabriel, did you want to say something too?
Oh, yes. I just wanted to shout out that we have an event tonight for younger caregivers, and that's going to be co-facilitated by my friend Connor, and that's a great group for if you have young children in your household who are helping out caregiving, that's great for them to network and, well, network not so much, but talk with each other and just kind of relate.
Yes, thank you, Gabriel. So Gabriel's right. Tonight is our youth peer support group for 8 to 13-year-old-ish. There's not a hard and fast rule. They talk about their ALS experience, and they talk about games and gaming, you name it. It goes different directions. And tomorrow night is our actually young adult peer support group. And they really talk about a number of things too, preparing for college, relationships, and life in general. So again, join us tomorrow at noon for Gabriel's talk and presentation on legacy. And if you've got young caregivers in your life, encourage them to join our peer support groups. We have information on the screen now on how you can register for the presentation tomorrow. And we'll also be posting in the comments more information and links for you to register. Thank you, everyone, and we hope to see you tomorrow at noon.